What if the silence of the heavens is actually the calm before the ultimate storm? Imagine waking up to a world where rivers run red like blood, stars fall like burning embers, and the undeniable sound of angelic trumpets shatters the atmosphere. This is not fiction. This is the prophetic countdown that has already begun. Today, we take you directly into the heart of the apocalypse, revealing the terrifying rise of the beast, the breaking of the 7 seals, and the glorious return of the King who reigns forever. You are about to witness the final war between light and eternal darkness, a truth so powerful it will shake your very soul. Welcome to Guardians of the Covenant, your sanctuary for uncovering biblical mysteries. We are on a mission to spread this urgent warning to every corner of the earth, but we cannot do it alone. If you believe the time is near, smash that like button, share this video to awaken others, and subscribe to our channel right now to join the watchmen on the wall. Do not look away, for the truth is about to be revealed, and the world as we know it is changing forever. What if the silence of the heavens is actually the calm before the ultimate storm? Imagine waking up to a world where the morning sky does not bring light, but a deepening shadow, a day when the rivers run red like blood, stars fall like burning embers, and the undeniable sound of angelic trumpets shatters the atmosphere. This is not fiction. This is the prophetic countdown that has already begun, and today, we take you directly into the heart of the apocalypse to witness the terrifying rise of the beast, the breaking of the 7 seals, and the glorious return of the King who reigns forever. You are about to witness the final war between light and eternal darkness, a truth so powerful it will shake your very soul. Welcome to Guardians of the Covenant, your sanctuary for uncovering biblical mysteries. We are on a mission to spread this urgent warning to every corner of the earth, but we cannot do it alone. If you believe the time is near, smash that like button, share this video to awaken others, and subscribe to our channel right now to join the watchmen on the wall, for the truth is about to be revealed, and the world as we know it is changing forever. The world had reached its absolute limit, a tipping point where faith had been forgotten like an old fable and truth was silenced by the roar of human pride. It was a time when man, in his arrogance, thought he was God, building cities that glowed with artificial neon lights designed to hide the profound darkness growing in people's hearts. Wars consumed national borders as the streets echoed with the cries of revolt and the whimpers of despair, while hungry children cried in the shadows of giant screens, displaying leaders praised by blind, cheering crowds. Man had raised his own throne, and the name of God was now a subject of mockery, a punchline in the theater of human vanity. Temples turned into ruins, and nature itself, exhausted and broken, cried out for help as the sea overflowed with fury, and the skies turned an ominous red at sunset, the silence of creation feeling like a heavy omen hanging over the squares where false prophets promised a new world. The man is his own God, they declared, and the crowds applauded, believing they had conquered the power that once belonged to the heavens, making pride the law and corruption the routine, while faith became a forgotten burden. But above the clouds, the sky watched, and the firmament trembled in golden light as the perspective shifted to the center of a sea of crystal and fire, where the throne of God shone in unreachable glory. All around, myriads of angels waited in profound silence, seraphim covering their faces with their wings, and cherubim singing a chant so deep that time itself seemed to bend before it. In the midst of this heavenly assembly stood the Lamb, his presence emanating both overwhelming love and terrifying authority, and a voice like the sound of 1,000 thunders echoed through infinity, declaring, "Man has corrupted what was given to him. The earth groans under its own wickedness." Michael, the prince of the heavenly hosts, knelt and asked, "Sir, would you like the judgment to begin?" And from the throne came the response, "The time has come. The book will be opened, and the truth will be revealed." The Lamb moved forward among the crowd of angels, holding the book sealed with 7 seals, and as the sky lit up, a reverent silence took over the heavens. No sound, no wings, just the weight of destiny. The first seal was broken, and a white light crossed the space as a white horse appeared, its rider descending to earth with a crown and a bow, conquering with deception. On earth, a charismatic figure rose to power, promising peace, raising flags and uniting nations, while people applauded the man who claimed to have won the war, but his eyes concealed darkness. "Finally, a new beginning," murmured a woman, clutching her child's hand, but her words were fleeting like the wind, because soon the second seal broke, and a sharp sound echoed as another horse, red like fire, tore across the skies. "Peace was taken from the earth," announced an angelic voice, and men took up swords again as explosions lit up the horizon. Nations that embraced yesterday devouring each other today, the ground shaking under the footsteps of war. Michael observed from above, saying sadly, "The blood of the innocent covers the ground of creation once again," to which an angel responded, "Justice is just beginning." The third seal was opened, revealing a black horse carrying a balance scale, and the proclamation rang out, "A liter of wheat for a denarius, and do not touch the olive oil or the wine." On earth, trade collapsed, men fought over crumbs, gold lost its value, and hunger consumed the rich and poor alike. A mother cried over her son's body, holding a piece of dry bread, screaming in despair, "Where is God now?" The fourth seal opened, and the pale horse rode through the winds with hell following close behind. Where it passed, the sound of life fell silent. Cities became deserts, fields turned to ashes, and in the sky, the angels bowed while Michael lowered his sword, whispering, "The earth is emptying itself." Then the fifth seal was broken, and voices echoed from beneath the heavenly altar as the souls of the faithful cried out, "Until when, O Lord, will you not judge those who dwell on the earth?" And a voice answered, "Wait a little longer until the number of those who will bear witness with blood is complete." The sixth seal was opened, and a violent earthquake shook the world. The sun became black, the moon turned red as blood, and stars fell like embers, while the powerful hid in caves crying out, "Hide us from the face of the one who is on the throne." In the sky, the Lamb looked down with calm expression, but eyes shining with sadness and power. Mercy was offered but rejected, and now truth would come like fire. A deep silence dominated everything. The air stopped, time paused, and even the angels fell silent. It was the moment before the trumpets. The sky prepared to speak again as the divine light illuminated the sea of glass. And the Lamb raised his gaze before 7 angels holding golden trumpets. A voice like the roar of many waters crossed the sky, commanding, "Sound the trumpets. Let the earth hear the judgment sound." The first angel brought the trumpet to his lips, and fire mixed with blood and hail fell upon the planet, burning forests and turning fields grey while mountains smoked. From above, Michael watched silently, and an angel asked, "Why do men remain silent in the face of punishment?" To which he replied, "Because their pride is higher than the skies." On earth, flames engulfed continents, smoke hid the sun, and men screamed without knowing the source. The second angel played, and a burning mountain like a blazing comet plunged into the ocean, turning the sea to blood and devouring coastal cities with giant waves. Ships broke apart, fish floated like drifting ashes, and fishermen knelt watching the red waters reflecting the fire of the sky, whispering in tears, "The sea is gone." The third angel blew his trumpet, and a flaming star named Wormwood crossed the space, poisoning rivers and springs, turning water bitter so that many died of thirst. The angels looked down, saddened, noting that love was offered, but greed was chosen. The earth staggered as the fourth angel blew, and the stars lost their brightness. The sun darkened, the moon faded, and a deadly cold took over the planet, making night eternal for a third of the time. Despair grew like a shadow, and among the ruins, a solitary prophet raised his voice, crying, "The Lord still waits. Repent while you have breath." But the crowd mocked him. In the sky, an angel with a fiery face flew through the firmament, shouting with a voice of thunder, "Oh, oh, oh, to those who dwell on the earth because of the sounds that are still to come." Finally, the fifth angel raised the trumpet, and the sound broke the silence to open the abyss. From the earth's ground, a black smoke rose like an open wound, vanishing the daylight, and from the darkness emerged deformed creatures with iron wings and human faces led by a fallen king, Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, his eyes like flames and his voice a roar, declaring, "The gates will open and nothing will be able to stop them." The creatures flew over the cities, tormenting men who did not have the seal of the Almighty. People ran, screaming, pleading for death, but death eluded them, leaving only the smell of sulfur and absolute despair. The daylight did not simply fade. It was swallowed whole by a supernatural gloom as the fifth angel's trumpet shattered the silence, opening the shaft of the bottomless pit. From the earth's ground, a black smoke rose like an open wound, and from this suffocating darkness emerged deformed creatures, a terrifying swarm with iron wings and human faces, led by a fallen king named Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, whose eyes burned like flames and whose voice was a roar that declared the gates open. These were not mere insects, but instruments of torment, flying over cities to strike only the men who did not have the seal of the Almighty, causing a pain so intense that people ran through the streets screaming, begging for death to take them. But death itself fled from them, leaving them trapped in a living nightmare where the air smelled of sulfur and absolute despair. Amidst this chaos, a group of survivors took refuge in a damp cave where a woman trembled holding her child, whispering, "Is this the end?" Only to hear the chilling reply, "No, it is only the beginning of the end." The sixth angel then blew his trumpet, and the waters of the great river Euphrates dried up instantly, releasing 4 fallen angels who had been bound for centuries, their voices thundering as they led an army of fiery horsemen spreading destruction until a third of mankind fell. Yet incredibly, the hearts of the survivors did not yield or repent. High above, Archangel Michael watched silently, closing his eyes to the tragedy and noting that judgment is not revenge, but the inevitable harvest of what was sown. The smoke from the abyss began to dissipate, but the respite was short-lived because the war was no longer confined to Earth. It had reached the skies. Lightning crossed the horizon. The gates of heaven moved, and silence shattered like glass as the battle trumpets echoed through the eternal gates. The firmament was set ablaze as thousands of angels formed golden ranks, led by Michael wielding his flaming sword against the colossal shadow approaching from the abyss of stars, the dragon, the ancient adversary. The heavens trembled as the dragon declared, "I will take the throne," but was met with the divine truth that his fall would be eternal. The clash was instant and cataclysmic, with lightning slicing the sky and the colors of the universe inverting as the dragon breathed fire. But with one final divine strike, Michael cast him down to earth like a falling star. As we pause to witness this cosmic battle between light and darkness, ask yourself, are you prepared for what is coming? This is why Guardians of the Covenant exists, to reveal the truth before it is too late. If you want to stand with us as watchmen on the wall, please subscribe to our channel and share this message, because the events we are describing are not just history, they are the future. Below on earth, the ground shook with the dragon's fall, and from the dust, he rose in fury to summon his ultimate deception. A beast rising from the turbulent sea, a monster with 7 heads and 10 horns, mixing the shapes of leopard, bear, and lion. Crowds watched in hypnotic fear and bowed, asking, "Who is like the beast?" as it proclaimed a false peace built on deceit. To solidify this control, a second beast rose from the earth, looking like a lamb but speaking with the voice of a dragon, forcing all humanity to receive a mark, the number 666, without which no one could buy or sell. In the streets, huge queues formed before temples of the beast as men and women traded their souls for survival, while those who resisted were persecuted and killed, leaving only small groups of believers hiding in the shadows, praying silently to a God who seemed silent. But the silence was broken by thunder as the command came from the throne to pour out the bowls of wrath. For the time of warning was over and the time of justice had arrived. The first angel poured his cup, and burning, festering wounds appeared on those marked by the beast, their cries rising to a heaven that had turned its back. The second angel poured his bowl into the sea, and the waters turned into the thick, coagulated blood of a dead man, spreading the stench of decay across the winds as every living thing in the ocean died, transforming the deep blue into a global grave. Fishermen on the coast looked at the red horizon, weeping over the death of the ocean that once sustained life. Then the third angel poured out his bowl over the rivers and springs, turning the fresh water into poison, and as humanity gasped in thirst, an angel raised its voice in heaven declaring, "Righteous are you, O Holy One, for you judge fairly, for they shed the blood of saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink." The fourth angel moved forward, and when he spilled his cup, the sun caught fire, transforming the life-giving light into consuming flames that pierced through stones and walls. Men ran to the shadows screaming, their skin scorched by the very star that once warmed them. Yet, incredibly, the survivors cursed God rather than asking for mercy. Then the fifth angel poured out his bowl directly onto the throne of the beast, plunging his kingdom into a darkness so thick it felt like living smoke, causing men to gnaw their tongues in agony, yet they remained unrepentant in the heart of their fallen city. As the dragon roared his defiance, Michael raised his sword, and the sixth angel poured his bowl over the great river Euphrates, drying its waters to pave the way for the kings of the east. The world prepared for its final war as demonic spirits gathered the armies of the earth to a place called Armageddon, marching as if they could defeat the invisible. Then the seventh angel raised the last cup, and a voice from the throne shook the universe. It is done. A massive earthquake tore the earth apart, leveling mountains and cities, but amidst the destruction, the heavens opened, revealing the ultimate hope. The Lamb appeared, not as a sacrifice, but as a king, riding a white horse with eyes like blazing fire and many crowns on his head, followed by the armies of heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. His presence set the heavens ablaze, and with the sharp sword of his word, the armies of the earth were consumed in an instant. The beast and the false prophet were captured and thrown alive into the lake of fire, while the dragon, stripped of his power, was chained by Michael and cast into the abyss, sealed by a light that closed the darkness over him. Silence fell upon the earth, a silence so profound it felt like a new creation. The war ended, the fire ceased, and from the ashes, a new wind began to blow. Then came the final judgment. A great white throne appeared, radiating a purity so intense that earth and sky fled from its presence. The dead, great and small, stood before God as the books were opened, revealing the echoes of every choice made in history. The dragon was brought forth one last time, only to be cast forever into the lake of fire, ending the era of evil. Then the scene shifted from judgment to restoration. The old earth passed away, and a new Jerusalem descended from heaven, adorned like a bride for her husband, with walls of jasper, gates of pearl, and streets of pure gold. There was no sun or moon, for the glory of God illuminated the city, and the Lamb was its lamp. The redeemed walked in its light. Children ran through bright squares where rivers flowed with the water of life, and fruit trees bore fruit in every season. There was no more death, no sorrow, no crying, and no pain, for the former things had passed away. Michael stood by the river of life, whispering, "Everything has been restored. Love has won forever." In the center of the city, the Lamb smiled, and his voice vibrated through the universe, saying, "Behold, I make all things new. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end." This is the future that awaits the faithful, a promise written in the stars and sealed by the divine. The story of humanity does not end in darkness, it ends in glorious eternal light. If this message has touched your heart, if you want to understand the signs of the times and be ready for what is coming, do not journey alone. Join our community of believers and truth seekers. Subscribe to Guardians of the Covenant right now, like this video, and share it with everyone you love. Together, let us watch, pray, and wait for the new dawn.